omelets, we only need a few ingredients. Basically, we need eggs, water, salt and pepper. Cheese is a basic filling for an omelet, and then cooking spray to prepare the pan. We'll also look at some other ideas for fillings in the omelet as we go through the recipe. The equipment for making our omelet is a medium skillet. We're going to need a turner that works with our nonstick pan. We need a small bowl and fork to beat the eggs together with the water, measuring spoons to measure the water, small measuring cup for the cheese, and then it's really important that you have the plate or whatever surface you're moving the omelet to right there ready from the beginning because this is such a quick process. First, I'm going to prepare a basic cheese omelet. No matter what kind of omelet you're making, it's very important that you prepare your fillings ahead of time. Shred cheese, chop ham or vegetables. And if you have any fillings other than cheese, those need to be sauteed ahead of time and kept warm near the range. I need to have that plate that I'm going to move it to ready at the beginning, because basically there won't be time to pick it, get it out of the cabinet once the omelet's finished. And so I'm going to spray a nonstick skillet with cooking spray, just enough to coat the pan. And I've turned my pan onto a medium-high heat to begin, because I want to, I've beaten my eggs together so you can see that they're a nice yellow color. There's no definitive white or yolk. It's all one nice homogeneous mixture. I've added a little salt and pepper. And for every 2 eggs, I beat in 1 tablespoon of water. So once my egg mixture gets into my skillet, it's going to be really important that I keep it moving. Slide the pan back and forth on the burner, roll it around, and then once the egg mixture gets in there, I'm going to turn it on to a medium-low. So I'm going to move it from a medium-high to a medium-low, and I'll be able to tell if the skillet is hot enough for the egg by flicking clean water in. We should hear it sizzle, so that didn't sizzle, so it needs a little more time to warm up. I'm going to use that plastic or silicone turner as the egg mixture begins to set, and I'm going to push it towards the center of the pan and roll the pan to let the liquid run out to the sides, and then I'll continue doing that until no more liquid remains. So the skillet's really moving a lot through this process. That's one of the main differences between scrambled eggs and omelets, is that with scrambled eggs we have to let the skillet sit slightly, let the egg mixture sit before we move it around, and with omelets we almost don't stop moving the pan. The other difference is that with scrambled eggs we use milk because we want nice, light, fluffy, large pieces of egg, and with the omelets we need structure to hold the fillings inside, and so the water does a better job of that. When my eggs are nearly set, I'll be ready to fill my omelet. I'm going to draw an imaginary line across the middle, and with the I like to use the pan handle kind of as a line starter. And then on the half closest to me, I'll put my fillings. And for this first one, I'm just going to do cheese. And then I'll use the turner to flip the other half on top of the cheese. I can turn the heat off right away because the heat of the pan and the heat of the egg will be enough to melt the cheese. And then I'll transfer the omelet onto the plate. So let's see if this has gotten warm enough now. So you hear that good sizzle when it hits the pan. So that means we are ready for our egg mixture. I'm going to put the egg mixture in. And I'm going to roll the pan. And then I'm going to take my turner and push that cooked egg towards the center. I'm going to roll it one more time to get that uncooked egg outside where it can cook easily. And then I'm going to turn this down to that medium-low. So remember, I started it on medium-high, so I'd really get a good start on the cook. And when I'm finished with this one, I want this to be a French omelet. So I'm going to try for no brown streaks. And I'm going to fold it into thirds. So actually I'm going to place my cheese in the middle instead. So there's French omelets, a French fold, French omelets, and American omelets. So now that the liquid doesn't roll off the sides, I'm gently moving it, gently pulling it off the center of the egg to the side of the pan until no more liquid remains. And that's what I've got here. So I'm going to turn that heat completely off. And because I'm going for that French omelet, I'm going to go straight down the middle of my pan. And I'm going to use the turner to fold it like a burrito. So I'm going to turn half in. Oh, a little more color there than I wanted, a little more brown. Half in again. And then we're going to move it to the plate. Moving this to the plate can be tricky because I don't want to break it. So I'm going to get my turner under about half of the omelet. And then basically I'm taking the pan out from under the omelet and letting it drop down onto the plate below. So there you go, a well transferred French fold omelet. A little more yellow and a little less brown would have been a nicer color for this particular omelet. But now let's make one with a little more filling. So if you want your omelet to have a few more fillings other than just cheese, you're going to want to saute any vegetables ahead of time. And saute is to cook quickly in a small amount of fat. So I've got the skillet on a medium-high heat. I've already cut my vegetables. I have onion and green pepper to add to this. And then because I'm going to add ham to this one, I've got that in with the onion and green pepper so that I can warm it up and it'll be all ready to add to my omelet once I've sauteed the vegetables. So I want to get this ready ahead of time because the process of the omelet itself goes very quickly. When you saute, things keep moving in the pan for the most part. Again, it's on a medium-high heat, so it's a relatively high heat, a little bit of fat, and it won't take very long to cook. Now, you may have heard people talk about an egg white omelet. And if you are preparing an egg white omelet, you're not using the yolk. And the advantage of that is that the yolk has all of the fat and cholesterol from the egg. So if you make an egg white omelet, you have no fat or cholesterol in your omelet from the egg anyway. Sometimes people will ask about the color of eggs, or people have a misconception that brown shell eggs are healthier than white shell eggs. And the truth is, the only difference in the color of the shell is the type of hen that laid the egg. So nutritionally, brown eggs and white shell eggs are the same. And it's just the breed of hen that laid the egg. Alright, so for this omelet, when I get ready to make it, I'm going to do the American style omelet this time. And I'll fold that so that it has a half moon shape with a few brown streaks. My vegetables are almost sauteed. So once those are finished, I'm going to set them aside and I'll be ready to start the egg portion of my omelet. So once again for my omelet, I'm going to start my pan off on a medium-high heat. So that's a 7 or an 8. I'm going to hit it with some fresh cooking spray. Once again, I have beaten my eggs so they're just that beautiful yellow color all mixed together. One homogeneous mixture. I have my plate off to the side. I have my fillings ready to add so that once the process gets started, I'm ready to go because it happens so quickly. So we'll take a little clean water. Ooh, that's a nice hot skillet. Just going to take that egg mixture, put it in the pan, roll the pan, push that cooked portion towards the center, roll it one more time. I'm going to turn that down to medium-low so I don't burn it. Push that cooked to the center. Roll it again. One more time here. We'll see if we can't get a little more to roll off to the outside. Nope. So now we're going to gently pull the uncooked egg to the outer edges of the omelet so that it can cook. It's okay to move the pan. I don't really want it sitting still. If you were to make a tiny rip in the egg, you could just, in the omelet, you could just move some of that uncooked egg into that space. Alright, now that I don't have any more uncooked egg, I'm going to imagine a line halfway here, and I'm going to put my fillings just on one side, because this time I'm going for an American style fold. So I want a little more color on it. I've still got my heat on. I'm going to add the cheese on top of the meat and vegetable. I'll go ahead and turn my heat off. And I'm going to get my turner under that upper half, flip it over. Got some nice brown streaks. Then we're going to move it onto the plate. Once again, moving that omelet from the skillet to the plate, I'm going to get my turner under about half of it. And then I'm going to simply hold the skillet over the plate and move the skillet out from under the omelet so the omelet can drop gently onto the plate, hopefully keeping that nice half moon shape. And you can see the heat of the egg mixture has done a great job melting the cheese inside. We didn't need it on the pan any longer. So now this omelet is ready to serve.